Rec League Podcast. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your family, tell your haters. Available on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Radio Public, Podchaser, Breaker, Good Pods, Pocket Cast, and Stitcher. At Rec League Podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. At Rec League Pod on Twitter. Episode 70 coming soon. Yo, whether you watching this from Facebook, Twitter, click the link in my Instagram, or YouTube itself. What up, world? So I just watched Halloween Kills. It is the 12th overall movie in the Halloween franchise. It is the third movie in the current continuity, a direct sequel to Halloween 2018, and it stars Jamie Lee Curtis, Judy Greer, Andy Matichak, I hope I said her name right, James Jude Courtney, Nick Castle, Anthony Michael Hall, Omar Dorsey, Kyle Richards, Nancy Stevens, and it is directed by David Gordon Green, who directed Halloween 2018. He's directed Pineapple Express, The Sitter, Your Highness, Stronger with Jake Gyllenhaal, Joe with Nicolas Cage, if I'm not mistaken. If you've seen Halloween 2018, you know how Michael Myers ended up. Well, this one picks up immediately at the end of that. And Jamie Lee Curtis's character is laid out, I guess you would say, from what happened in that movie. So she's in one location practically the entire time, and the thought process is that Michael Myers is on his way to get her. He may be, he may not be, he may just be terrorizing Haddonfield. But Tommy Wallace, the survivors of the original 1978 Haddonfield massacre, have taken it upon themselves to rally up and get the boogeyman. I was excited for this. I liked the original trailer. I really liked Halloween 2018. So whatever the sequel was going to be, I was watching. And eventually the trailers didn't turn me off, but I liked them less. Because it looked like it was going to do one thing, and I was just not a fan of it. And then Laurie has this dialogue that makes Michael seem like he's more than human, I guess might be the word. And yeah, I guess he is. But the 2018 movie also kind of tried to put this realistic tone around Michael. And this one has that, but then they also do some stuff along the lines of what we all have always known Michael to be, and that's a dude who is going to keep coming no matter what you try to stop him with. And there are cool references to Pat. One reference I wish they wouldn't have put in the trailer, I still got a kick out of in the movie. And other references, I don't know if, I don't want to say, there's a location that I feel like is a callback to a movie that doesn't count now. And I feel like there's a logo in this movie that no matter what the timeline, no matter what the continuity, no matter what the movie, that logo has always been the same. And I thought that was cool. This movie, if you're a fan of the franchise, you know that the 2018 movie erases every other Halloween movie. So the only movies that count are the original, the classic, and then these two most recent ones. And this movie writes its own follow-up to the events of the original, and that was cool. they did something that I definitely didn't expect. They keep going, and it's like I asked one of my boys, like, did they just retcon a retcon and maybe retcon something a little too much? Because that's kind of what I feel. And I saw reactions to this movie. Like, I wasn't looking for reactions. I just stumbled upon some reactions. I saw people give this a 1.5 out of 5. That's way too far in the negative. I saw people call this the best Halloween movie ever, and that's way too far on the other end of the spectrum. To me, this movie is middle of the pack Halloween. I don't quite like it as much as 2018, but it is definitely part 2 of a 3-movie story. So Halloween Ends, if we're still on schedule, should come out next year. What I gathered from Halloween Kills is, like, 2018 was about Laurie and her PTSD, what she's been doing for 40 years, the people that don't really support how she feels and think that she's just crazy. And this one is everybody else from the original movie, how they've carried on living since the original movie. And I thought that was cool. Laurie is kind of a supporting character in this, and that's not a bad thing. I was into this, and I was like, okay, this is at least as good as 2018. And then it takes this turn that, like, there's like a million characters all doing this one thing. There's this war cry that got really annoying after, like, hearing it like twice. And I don't want to go into detail about the turn, but if you've seen the movie, it's 95% of the characters doing one thing, and it's just like, you guys don't even know what you're doing, and that was annoying. I thought a lot of the humor, like, I thought in 2018 the humor hit. I thought in this one a lot of the humor was bad. It's just, when this is part 2 and you know there's another movie coming, I always wonder, when you know a sequel is coming through the pipeline, how are they going to end the movie? And I did not hate the ending of this movie. The third act was cool, and I knew part of it was coming. I didn't know to the extent it was going to happen. And before I forget, the tension in this movie is beautiful. There's tension from beginning to end. Like, I was always like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? Like, in my head, like, the tension in this movie was great. There are some very cool casting additions, and yeah, like, I wasn't disappointed. I didn't overly love it. Like, 2018, for my favorite movies of 2018, Halloween 2018 was at the very least an honorable mention. I don't think this one was that good, but it's a worthy part 2 of a 3-story arc, which will inevitably be a 4-movie story. So, with all that being said, I will say that, in my opinion, Halloween Kills is almost dope. Have you seen Halloween Kills? What you think about it? Positive, negative, somewhere in between? Let me know. I have recently posted reviews for No Time to Die, Marvel's What If, The Last Duel, and within the next 2 weekends, I want to watch and review the DC Injustice movie. I want to watch and review Dune. I don't believe my theater's getting The French Dispatch. Bummer. And I want to watch and review Last Night in Soho. Reckley podcast coming within the next day or two is going to be about horror movies in 2021. No spoilers, but we'll talk some about Halloween Kills. This has been a surprisingly solid year for horror movies. So, like, subscribe, comment. Find me where you find me, man. Don't know where to find me. Watch these credits. Peace.